Hello everyone, I'm Yazan Ibrahim, or as some of you might know me, Yazan Abu Ghosh. Today we're going to dive into a fascinating and essential topic from Chapter 4. Part B, Business Resilience 4.16, Disaster Recovery Plans. If you are a seasoned auditor or just curious to understand how information systems into business environments, you've come to the right place. Let's begin. Disaster Recovery Planning, the narrative. Let's take a journey into the world of disaster recovery planning, DRP, where technology and business continuity meet in a delicate balance to overcome unexpected challenges. Think of it as constructing a safety net to catch your organization when the unexpected strikes, a fire in the server room, a network outage, or even a disaster like an earthquake. Disaster recovery planning is not just an IT project, it's an essential lifeline for modern organizations. The big picture, disaster recovery planning, DRP. At its heart, disaster recovery planning is a critical piece of an organization's internal control system. Its primary goal, ensuring uninterrupted operations and IT availability in the face of disasters. Whether an organization is recovering a crashed server, restoring lost data, or re-establishing access to core systems, disaster recovery planning lays the groundwork for survival during crises. But why is this planning so important? Consider this. In today's businesses, IT systems aren't just support tools. They're the engines that drive core operations. A disruption can bring entire organizations to a standstill, threatening their ability to deliver services, comply with regulations, or maintain reputation. That's why planning for disasters has become a vital aspect of both risk management and business continuity. To build such resilience, businesses rely on two essential components derived from a business impact analysis, BIA. Recovery point objectives, RPO, ensuring minimal data loss during disruptions. Recovery time objectives, RTO, minimizing downtime after an interruption. These safeguards go beyond mere IT systems. They address the lifeblood of the organization, its ability to process and handle critical business data. With that perspective in mind, DRP becomes a continuous process of revisiting plans, adapting to changes in infrastructure, and improving the maturity of processes and procedures. Now let's break this down further. The foundations of RPO and RTO. Imagine you're saving a digital photo album on your computer. The recovery point objective, RPO, asks, if you lose your system data, how much of that photo album are you okay with losing? This is about defining the acceptable limit for data loss in time. If your RPO is 4 hours, for example, a disaster recovery strategy must ensure backups happen frequently enough, for example, every 4 hours, so that you lose as little data as possible when systems are restored. On the other hand, recovery time objective, RTO, asks, how quickly do I need to access my photo album after the disaster? This parameter defines how long an organization can tolerate the downtime before resuming operations. Both RPO and RTO are tightly woven into the cost of the recovery strategies. A shorter RPO or RTO results in higher costs, but they can be lifesavers for mission-critical business processes. For example, if an RPO is minutes, you'll likely need real-time backup solutions like data mirroring or synchronous replication. If an RTO is minutes, you may require a hot site, a fully equipped backup facility that can resume operations almost immediately. In short, lower tolerances for downtime and data loss often translate into more advanced and costlier technologies like clustering, duplicate data centers, or rapid replication systems. Beyond RPO and RTO, other recovery parameters. While RPO and RTO tend to steal the limelight, other parameters are just as critical in recovery planning. Interruption window, the absolute maximum time the organization can allow between a disruption and restoration of critical services. Service Delivery Objective, SDO. This defines the acceptable level of service during a recovery period. For instance, during partial recovery, an e-commerce platform might only offer browse options but disable checkouts temporarily. Maximum Tolerable Outage, MTO. The tipping point, how long a business can survive without restoring full operations before irreparable damage occurs. Recovery strategies, different paths to restoration. Disaster recovery isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. The strategy chosen to restore systems depends on factors such as criticality, cost, and available time. Key strategies include 1. Hot sites. A hot site is the hero of quick recoveries, a fully configured and operational facility designed for immediate use. It minimizes downtime but demands heavy investment. Imagine a backup office with desks, functional servers, and up-to-date workstations ready for use. 2. Warm sites. Less expensive than hot sites, warm sites have essential IT infrastructure pre-installed, but may require setup and data restoration before they are functional. Think of a partially prepared airplane requiring some work before takeoff. 3. Cold sites. These are cost-effective but slower to activate. A cold site is essentially an empty office space with basic infrastructure. Companies must bring in all necessary hardware, software, and equipment. It's like building a campsite from scratch. 4. Mobile sites, modular and transportable facilities packed into vehicles. Mobile sites can be delivered wherever needed. These are particularly useful for organizations with unpredictable geographical needs. 5. Mirrored sites. The ultimate in redundancy, mirrored sites are running in parallel with live production environments. They maintain real-time data replication and can seamlessly take over operations without noticeable delays. 6. Reciprocal agreements. Sometimes businesses form partnerships to share resources in the event of a disaster. However, these agreements come with compatibility challenges and are often less reliable. When evaluating these strategies, companies must assess their budgets alongside business impact analysis (BIA) results. For instance, a high-cost mirrored site might not make sense for a business with non-critical functions, but it could be mission-critical for financial services. Testing disaster recovery plans, a trust but verify approach. Having a plan is one thing, knowing it works is another. The most carefully crafted DRP can still fall short if it isn't thoroughly tested. Testing is a structured process that ensures readiness and spots gaps before a real disaster strikes. Common testing methodologies include checklist reviews. Team members review plans to ensure they're up to date. Structured walkthroughs, a step-by-step review of recovery procedures on paper without activating them. Simulation tests, disaster scenarios are role-played, yet recovery sites remain unused. Parallel testing. The recovery site is made operational, but primary operations continue at the main site. Full interruption testing. The riskiest approach where primary operations are shut down and everything shifts to a recovery site. Regardless of the method chosen, organizations should focus on metrics like recovery time, data accuracy, and employee training to evaluate each test. Success lies not just in well-executed tests, but also in how well lessons learned are applied to refine the plans. Mobilizing disaster recovery teams. When a disaster strikes, success hinges on the readiness of disaster recovery teams. These specialized groups operate like a well-oiled machine tackling specific recovery tasks. Key teams include emergency action teams, first responders responsible for evacuating personnel and securing life safety. Information security teams, guardians of data integrity and system security during recovery. Damage assessment teams, experts trained to evaluate the scope of damage and predict downtime. Emergency management teams, coordinators who oversee the recovery effort, handle budget approvals, liaise with media, and steer legal compliance. Each team has a precise role and operates within a matrix of defined responsibilities geared towards swift recovery. Invoking the plan when disaster happens. The moment disaster strikes, the focus shifts from planning to action. Trained personnel immediately assess the situation, follow predefined escalation protocols, and decide which parts of the DRP to invoke. Every step, from mobilizing teams to realigning network traffic or restoring applications, is methodically executed. Flexibility remains key, as no preset plans can foresee every nuance of a disaster scenario. Once operations are back online, it's critical to document challenges faced during recovery. These lessons inform updates to the DRP, ensuring the organization grows more resilient with every incident. Conclusion. At its core, disaster recovery planning isn't just about IT. It's about ensuring an organization's ability to adapt, survive, and thrive against unpredictability. It represents a commitment to business continuity, to safeguarding data, and ultimately, to serving customers even in the face of adversity. From understanding RPOs and choosing recovery strategies to performing stress tests and forming specialized teams, DRP is a meticulous dance of preparation. But in that preparation lies the ultimate confidence that, no matter what, the organization is ready to rise again. Thank you for watching, and as always, continue learning, stay curious, and we'll see you next video.